Who was the first king in human history? The question of who was the first king in human history is a fascinating and complex one, as it intersects with archaeology, anthropology, mythology, and historical records. The concept of kingship itself evolved over millennia, shaped by early human society's need for leadership, governance, and social organization. While pinpointing an exact first king is challenging due to the lack of definitive evidence from prehistoric times, scholars have identified several candidates based on ancient texts, archaeological findings, and cultural narratives. This article explores the origins of kingship, examines possible contenders for the title of the first king, and delves into the significance of this role in shaping human civilization. The origins of kingship. Before diving into specific individuals, it's essential to understand how kingship emerged as a societal institution. Early human communities were likely egalitarian, relying on cooperative decision-making within small groups. However, as populations grew and societies became more complex, the need for centralized authority rose. This shift can be attributed to several factors. Agricultural revolution, around 10,000 BC. The advent of agriculture allowed humans to settle in permanent locations, leading to the rise of villages and cities. These larger settlements required coordination to manage resources, irrigation systems, trade, and defense. Social stratification, as wealth and power accumulated among certain individuals or families, hierarchies began to form. Leaders emerged who could command respect, enforce laws, and mediate disputes. Religious influence. Many early rulers claimed divine sanction or connection to deities, which legitimized their authority. This blending of political and spiritual roles made kingship a powerful institution. Military necessity. With the growth of rival groups, protection against external threats became crucial. Strong leaders capable of organizing armies gained prominence. These developments laid the foundation for the establishment of monarchies, where a single ruler held supreme power, often passed down through hereditary lines. Candidates for the title of first king. While no single individual can definitively claim the title of the first king, several figures stand out in ancient history and mythology as potential pioneers of kingship. 1. Enmebarotsi, circa 2700 to 2600 BC. One of the earliest documented kings is Enmebarotsi, or ruler of the Sumerian city-state of Kish in Mesopotamia. According to the Sumerian king list, a cuneiform tablet compiled around 2100 BC. Enmebarotsi reigned during the early dynastic period. His achievements include military campaigns against neighboring regions and participation in the construction of temples. The Sumerian king list is notable because it provides a chronological account of rulers, often blending mythological elements with historical facts. While some entries mention fantastical reign durations, e.g., tens of thousands of years, later sections align more closely with archaeological evidence, and Enmebarotsi's inclusion suggests he may have been one of the first historically verifiable kings. 2. Gilgamesh, circa 2800 to 2500 BC. Another prominent figure from Mesopotamia is Gilgamesh, the legendary king of Uruk. Celebrated in Epic of Gilgamesh, one of humanity's oldest surviving literary works. Gilgamesh embodies the archetype of a heroic ruler, although his existence remains debated. Archaeological discoveries at Uruk support the idea that a powerful leader named Gilgamesh might have ruled there. The epic portrays Gilgamesh as part divine and part mortal, reflecting the common practice of attributing godlike qualities to early kings, whether real or mythical. Gilgamesh symbolizes the transition from tribal chieftains to centralized monarchs. 3. Menes-Narmer, circa 3100 BC in ancient Egypt. Menes-Narmer is traditionally regarded as the unifier of Upper and Lower Egypt and the founder of the First Dynasty. Historical records and artifacts, such as the Narmer palette, depict him wearing the crowns of both regions, signifying his role as the first pharaoh. Menes' reign marks a pivotal moment in Egyptian history, as he established Memphis as the capital and introduced administrative reforms. His consolidation of power set the stage for centuries of dynastic rule along the Nile. 4. Etana of Kish, mythological figure. Etana appears in the Sumerian king list as another ruler of Kish, described as ascending to heaven on the back of an eagle. While his story is steeped in myth, Etana is credited with restoring order after a period of chaos, highlighting the symbolic importance of kingship in maintaining stability. 5. Fuxi Chinese mythology. Moving eastward, Chinese tradition identifies Fuxi as one of the three sovereigns, semi-mythical figures said to have laid the groundwork for Chinese civilization. Fuxi is credited with inventing writing, fishing nets, and marriage customs. Though not a king in the modern sense, his legendary contributions underscore the evolution of leadership in ancient China. 6. Imhotep, architect and statesman. While not a king himself, Imhotep served under Pharaoh Djoser circa 2670 BC and played a key role in designing the Step Pyramid, the world's first monumental stone structure. As a polymath and advisor, Imhotep exemplifies the intellectual elite who supported early kings, further solidifying the institution of monarchy. Archaeological evidence supporting early kingship. Beyond textual sources, archaeology has provided valuable insights into the lives of early rulers. Excavations at sites like Uruk and Giza reveal palaces, tombs, and ceremonial centers that attest to the wealth and influence of these leaders. For example, royal tombs of Ur discovered by Leonard Woolley in the 1920s. These tombs contained lavish grave goods, including gold jewelry, musical instruments, and sacrificed attendants. Such opulence indicates the high status accorded to kings and queens. Royal inscriptions, stone monuments, such as stelae and obelisks, often featured inscriptions praising the achievements of kings. These served both propagandistic and record-keeping purposes. Urban planning, the layout of ancient cities, with ziggurats, temples, and defensive walls, reflects the centralized control exercised by kings. The significance of the first king. Identifying the first king is less about naming a specific individual than understanding the broader implications of kingship. Early kings shaped their societies in profound ways. Political centralization, by consolidating power, kings reduced internal conflict and fostered unity. Cultural development, royal patronage encouraged advancements in art, architecture, literature, and science. Legal frameworks, kings established codes of law, ensuring justice and order. Legacy, the concept of kingship influenced subsequent civilizations, from the Persian Empire to medieval Europe. Conclusion: while we cannot definitively name the first king in human history, the evidence points to figures like Mythology, Gilgamesh, and Menes as pioneering examples of centralized leadership. Their stories, whether rooted in fact or folklore, highlight the transformative impact of kingship on human society, as symbols of authority, innovation, and continuity. These early rulers paved the way for the empires and nations that followed, and studying their legacies, we gain insight into the enduring quest for order, identity, and progress that defines our shared history.